on to Best Actor.
All right. Steve Carell, Foxcatcher. Bradley Cooper, American Sniper. Benedict Cumberbatch, The Imitation Game. Michael Keaton, Birdman. Eddie Redmayne,
Jr.
Theory of Everything.
I feel like his name needs a junior.
First of all, let's talk about
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
So he's at the top of the list. We have been avid viewers of The Office, especially during the years Steve Carell was on the show.
Yes.
Freaking amazing in the show.
Thank you, sister, for getting me into The Office.
Oh, thank
and
you.
You're welcome.
Other than The Office, I've looked at his career for a while now, since 40-Year-Old Virgin. I've seen him go into Anchorman, Evan Almighty.
Terrible movies like
He's done some terrible ones.
Dinner for Schmucks.
But he's also done some really good ones, like Crazy
Stupid Love. Stupid Crazy Love.
And also Foxcatcher. I mean, he does a really good job with this performance. It's a lot more subtle than I was expecting.
It was a lot more subtle than I was expecting. And also, I was a little worried about thinking Michael Scott the whole time. And I wasn't.
Yeah, he was totally transformed. Why the fuck is Bradley Cooper nominated? Okay, this is his 4th nomination. His best performance so far was Silver Linings Playbook. Hands down, he was fan-fucking-tastic in that. And then he just turns on a Texas accent, gains a little bit of muscle mass, and he gets Academy Award nominations. Well, go back in time, nominate Christian Bale for fucking every movie he was in, because he does that physicality. Yeah. He gains muscle mass, loses it for, Rescue Dawn, and then gains it right back. Jake Gyllenhaal is a huge snub in this category.
I don't think he's a huge snub.
And then we also have David Oyelowo. This is the big one. The
that
big
performance.
One. We just watched Selma recently, and Jesus Christ, there were moments in the movie. I know it's not the 1960s anymore, but I wanted to fucking go home, get a picket sign, and start marching.
Yeah, it really did.
He got me motivated, and it was totally irrelevant to my timeline.
Right, exactly.
Well, we're in a lucky time where, we our ancestors, let's just call them ancestors, lived through the civil rights movement. And they dealt with the oppression of certain people, and they dealt with trying to accept other people. And we're just lucky to be after that. And now seeing a first Martin Luther King biopic done so well, not getting any support, is terrible.
It's very terrible. And his performance, David's performance, the speeches that he does, everything. His look, his demeanor. Mm-hmm. He looks like Martin Luther King. His demeanor is there. His speeches are beautiful. The contemplation of having to think about the lives of his people compared to what is right marching forward is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And it's portrayed so well.
And it's very human. I would say it's very human. When you think of Martin Luther King, you almost, because of how impactful he is, you think of him almost as a god person. He doesn't have any failures in life. He's always been right. But they even touch on his potential affairs that he had.
Or the failures.
And the failures, really. Yeah, he was a smoker.
Yeah.
What? Martin Luther King being a smoker.
Didn't know that.
Putting the director up on a cross right away,
And that's what they did, really. They
Martin
really
Luther King
screwed Selma.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper needs to be removed from the list, and David Oyelowo to go on this. Well, David Oyelowo as Martin Luther King deserves the nomination. The fact that he didn't is ridiculous to me.
And it's I
don't understand.
It's also brought up a lot of talks. David Oyelowo was on an interview recently where he said black people only get nominated in movies if they play subservient roles. And that's a paraphrase, of course. I don't have the quote right here, but that is a very poignant era. And if you look at last year's 12 Years a Slave, that's about Chitwell Ejiofor being as a slave. So Benedict Cumberbatch.
The Imitation Game. All right, let's talk about it.
He was really good in this film.
He was the best thing in this movie.
Yeah. The movie's script meandered. The performance of Keira Knightley
was very wavy.
Yeah,
your mentality on Keira Knightley's performance.
Yeah, we already discussed that. Benedict Cumberbatch, he does a very subtle performance of, and you see the development of him being kind of just an odd guy to losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And the importance of this machine to him.
Yeah.
Him personally, not the lives that he's going to save or anything like that. It's his goal in life to make something that changes the world.
Right. And there's a really fast development with his performance, which is why I don't think he's going to win. From the beginning, he's very unapproachable. He doesn't understand comedy. He doesn't understand insults. He doesn't really understand unless it's a direct statement. It's all he understands. And so that was cool. But when he started gaining the relationship with his fellow workers, trying to crack Enigma, he starts to understand jokes and be funny and be friendly and all that stuff. And mainly it's because Keira Knightley's character comes in and helps him out. But it's a really fast transition from being here to up here.
The movie actually does a really good job of, a medium job, I wouldn't say good job, because actually I would have liked to see more of this, of the aftermath. His subsequent years dealing with his homosexuality in a legal percussion kind of way. Like I thought that was more interesting.
Yeah.
Because he led him to his eventual death. Not spoiling it, but he's dead. You can find out why and how. But I mean, him dealing with that was way more intriguing, and it was the storyline. So next we have Eddie Redmayne Jr.
Eddie Redmayne Jr.
I don't know if he's a junior.
He's not a junior. He's not. Oh wow! I went full Sean Connery.
You went full Sean Connery. So,
never go full Sean.
So funny thing about the category, and this is a huge coincidence I thought was pretty cool. Benedict Cumberbatch back in the day played Stephen fucking Hawking. His first Academy Award nomination is coupled with a man playing Stephen Hawking.
Right.
Except Benedict Cumberbatch went full Hawking.
But I think we could just say that Eddie Redmayne went full Hawking too, because Jesus Christ, his performance was awesome. Really, legitimately awesome.
Yes.
From the beginning to the end, wow.
And like Stephen Hawking himself watched the performance and he was crying. Like the nurse had to like wipe tears from his face because he has that issue.
One of my favorite things about cinema and film in general is the acting and portrayals and the realistic things that people can do in a screen to make us entertained. This is fantastic, on par with Marion Cotillard's character in La Vie en Rose, where she fully embodied a singer, you know what I mean? Edith Piaf. Eddie Redmayne was Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. When someone can mimic everything. I don't know, everything. Fun fact, his spine was went out of whack because he was in full Hawking mode even outside of the takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he gave his all to this performance.
And you can definitely tell.
I really have a lot of respect for him because I'm more of like when an actor can physically get into the role. Like back to Christian Bale for Rescue Dawn. But like it's really cool seeing these guys like change their bodies physically in the same way Eddie Redmayne really did a good job changing his.
Yeah. And
becoming Stephen Hawking.
Right.
Moving on to the main event, I think this man will win the Oscar.
I think so
pretty
too.
Easily. He's up. His closest one I would say is competition is Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne, yeah.
But I think Michael Keaton got this.
Michael Keaton, I honestly think that he's gonna win it. But if Eddie Redmayne wins this, I think it's also well deserved.
Yeah.
So, Michael Keaton, let's go.
Michael Keaton.
Birdman.
First of all, Birdman is a really well done movie.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton hits on all these crazy subtleties in this one shot movie almost. Movie. But not only does he hit on all these motifs, he has to change his character constantly because he's acting.
Yeah.
He has to have discussions with himself.
Yeah.
He has to do so much like random ass preparation that he's never had to do in his career, and this is the moment for him.
One of my favorite scenes with him is that he's talking and he's walking down the hall and he's talking, and then all of a sudden he's on the stage and he puts his wig on and then he's like the character in the play, and it's just like you watch it and you're just like, holy shit!
He just transforms.
You just automatically transform in front of my eyes, and to see your process going from this one movie that we're watching, in this actor going into a play, becoming another actor.
Yeah.
It's like
seamless.
And it's very seamless and beautiful.
And then there's moments with the critic that we've touched on before. There's moments with Emma Stone that are really beautiful. There's moments that they bring in the idea of technology and how it's affecting his
character
life.
when he talks
Amy
to her.
Ryan. Oh my god. Michael Keaton had a really good backbone to play this. Alejandro really directed him well. He's getting the Oscar, I think.
I think so too. But again, like I said, if Eddie Redmayne wins it, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I will still be happy.
Or if they say, sorry guys, get Bradley Cooper out of there, put David Oyelowo. If he won, I would be happy.
I would be happy with David Oyelowo winning.
Okay, now moving on to Best Actress.
Okay, we got Marion Cotillard, 2 Days, One Night. Felicity Jones, The Theory of Everything. Julianne Moore, Still Alice. Rosamund Pike, A Gone Girl. And Reese Witherspoon for Wild.
Or Reese.
Without her spoon.
She's gone. Okay.
She doesn't have her spoon anymore.
So, first of all, let's go over snubs.
Let's go over snubs.
Jennifer Aniston for Cake was the big snub of this year.
Didn't see it, but the trailer, she looks awesome. I've always liked Jennifer Aniston in general. She's a great actress. Fantastic in Friends. Got a couple Golden Globes from that. Or Emmys.
So other than snubs, really good people to see on the list, I would say is Rosamund Pike is my personal favorite role of the year, like female-wise.
Yeah.
She was really good, changed throughout the movie to different people, psychopathic, kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler.
But a lot better.
Yeah, but Jake Gyllenhaal still did a really damn good job with Nightcrawler. And like, you look at the rest of the category, and I think Julianne Moore is really strong right now.
Yes.
She's won a lot of support for Still Alice.
She has other Oscar nominations.
Yeah. But Rosamund Pike is where my money really wants to go.
Yeah. This performance was really awesome. We saw it when it came out, and then we recently saw it when it came out on DVD. Blu-ray, excuse me. And it's just...
It's a really well done...
It's a really well done performance and movie. The movie's awesome.
It's a terrifying performance, honestly.
It really is.
Reese Witherspoon. I'm really glad to see Reese Witherspoon on this list.
Reese Witherspoon.
She hasn't been nominated since Walk the Line. I thought she was amazing in Walk the Line. She deserved her award.
Reese Witherspoon has come back, really.
Yep.
I really honestly think she started coming back into herself as an actress when it came to Mud, and then Devil's Knot, and then this movie, really.
Well, also Inherent Vice.
Yeah, we haven't seen it.
But I've heard she was decent in it. Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
She's coming back, and she's coming back strong. And her in this movie is, we haven't seen it, but we're really happy to see her back.
Yeah, on this list.
She's picking up her A game, and when you pick up your A game like this,
you drop your B game.
You drop your B game.
I know what your favorite surprise, I should say.
Okay, so let me just say, with this surprise,
it was like you opened it up Christmas Day. And
I felt like it was Christmas Day. I was so happy. I literally was like, "Rah!" And I remember viewing the nominees list appear in front of me on YouTube, because I watched it on YouTube. I texted David and I was like, "Oh my God, Marion Cotillard got nominated for 2 Days, One Night." Ah! And I was sad to see that Jennifer Aniston get nominated for Cake, but let me just say that Marion Cotillard is one of the best actresses in this world.
Now, I agree completely. But here's my thing: is 2 Days, One Night is a foreign film, pretty well recognized. Did it get nominated for Best Foreign Film?
I don't think so.
So she gets nominated for 2 Days, One Night, and you have to kind of ask, like, does Jennifer Aniston deserve a nomination more than Marion for this year, or is it because of previous years that Marion deserved a nomination and didn't get one that she's getting a nomination for this year?
That's what my thing is. I really honestly think that her performance in Rust and Bone was really awesome. You know, not Edith Piaf awesome, but she really knows how to transform into her character without having to transform her body.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You don't see her. I don't know. Like, you don't have to do a Steve Carell to pull off an Oscar nom with her. You know what I'm saying? And so with this movie, I think that they recognize that she was amazing in this movie, but also, you know, she has kind of fallen away because of her other performances and not getting as much nominations for her work. Because how can you top your Oscar-winning performance that a lot of other actors regard as one of their best performances too?
Yeah. It sucks, and this goes with a lot of Academy Award nominated movies. Look at Song of the Sea, or even Tales of Princess Kaguya, all the way up to this, the foreign film category. Is American cinema is really terrible in imparting independent film, foreign film, and unless if they're like way higher of a level, like La Vie en Rose or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And that's a problem with our cinema, and there needs to be a way to fix it, some kind of pointer to say, hey, these movies need to be released.
I think that also has to go in part with like other foreign countries not being able to reach this area.
It's hard to reach America sometimes, but at the same time, our films are in every orifice of every country that has a prominent film market. The other person on the list, Felicity Jones from Theory of Everything, I think is, in my opinion, what I've seen is the weakest out of the group.
I can agree. I think so too, to an extent, but she also pushed the balance that Felicity Jones had with Eddie Redmayne in Theory of Everything. Their performances aside, they balanced each other so well.
They did.
Her love for him was extremely believable.
Yeah. She unlike Keira Knightley, she actually puts her foot down, becomes a real life female in this movie. Like when he's especially like, he finds out about his disease and he's like, my work is now the most important thing in my life. I don't care about anything else, and I'm going to die soon, so I don't want to have a relationship. She forces herself onto him and saying, look, I'm here to support you through anything because I actually truly love you, you know, and that's really believable.
One of my favorite scenes in that movie too.
I'm sorry. And then the humanity of like realizing that he's not dead and it's been 2 years. It's been 4 years. It's been 10 years. You know, and now it's more of like, I'm supporting his life.
Yeah.
Because he should have died.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a horrible way to think, but you see that in their eyes.
You see that, but also like you understand that she's not going to break that bond. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And they haven't to this day. It's not love like it was, but it's still friendship.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. And one of my favorite scenes with her, going back a little bit, sorry.
It's okay.
She brings Jonathan over to a family event to help with Steven. And her mom, it's her mom, right? Yeah, her mom's like, hey, no, Steven's mom. It's like, hey, why are you bringing Jonathan over here? He's the other man, blah blah blah. And she's like, is that what you think of me? You know what I mean? After all this fucking shit, that's what you fucking think of me, right?
But anyways, again, Rosamund Pike's my front runner.
She's my front runner too. I want Rosamund to win. But I think Julianne Moore is going to actually win.
Yeah, it's Julianne Moore. So, walking down the street, we're hitting the store sign for directing.
All right, so you got Alejandro G. Iñárritu for Birdman, Richard Linklater for Boyhood, Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher, Wes Anderson for The Grand Budapest Hotel, and Morton Tilden for The Imitation Game.
My name is Morton. That's how he says it, because he's kind of British, but he also went to New York once.
Oh, God.
So he's like, my name is Morton.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
So first of all,
let's go with Morton. Let's
start with Morton. Yeah, I don't know. But Imitation Game, directing-wise, I thought it was a pretty commonly directed film. It was not poppy. It was very, I wouldn't say even subtle.
It wasn't. It was kind of a flat kind of.
It was a wavy movie.
It was a here you go.
It was borderline bland directing-wise, I would say. There were some scenes that were like really beautiful, but for the most part, it was alright.
Yeah,
shot-wise.
You know, when I went into the theater, and I watched this movie, you kind of get immersed by the actor.
Yeah.
Then you start noticing less of everything around it.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure on the directing on it, but I think it was better than I thought it was.
Morton, he was alright. I think he deserves to be nominated, whereas there's another person on the list that
we'll get to in a minute.
Unmitigated to be on the list. But if I was going to take him out, I would definitely replace him with Christopher Nolan for Interstellar. Which I thought was one of the biggest snubs of the year.
Extremely
not talked about at all.
Yeah.
You have to realize Christopher Nolan, what he did by making Interstellar is a technological achievement in film. And it's the same thing Stanley Kubrick did back in 2001, Space Odyssey. Not the year 2001, the movie's 2001. Next, Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Which is the biggest surprise of the directing category.
Yeah, I mean, it came out in March.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, March.
Around there.
Around the time, I don't remember really what, but on the time. But I really love Grand Budapest.
It was one of those moments where you reimagine the magic film can have.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah. It was just like it felt like 1930s classic film at the same time being this new age independent film at the same time.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
I just remember being enthralled by the whole movie.
The whole aesthetic of every shot is perfect.
Perfect.
There's also scenes that the actors look almost like toys going down the street, especially. You know?
Or when Zero was going to Saoirse Ronan's house and he's like jumping across in the night on the rooftops.
The silhouette.
The silhouette,
shots.
yeah. Very.
Or the jail escape scene, where it's like a playhouse.
Yep.
And Wes Anderson has been known for doing this, but this has been his most accessible run for doing these things.
Yes.
And you can talk about the Darjeeling Limited, Royal Tenenbaums,
Moonrise Kingdom.
But this one is
Richard Linklater.
Richard Linklater. Now, the movie is directed, and you see him evolve as a director as the movie goes on, because the 12 years thing.
Right.
I felt like he's well-deserved a nomination for the work he put in, more so than his directing.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a 12-year process, and that's hard to do.
I think
It's beautifully directed, but
each year that he did one short film, really, because they put it all together, whatever, was still magical in each individual one. And to be able to maintain that level of magic, I should say, is pretty impressive.
It's also really impressive. Sure, he evolves as a director, but he doesn't, flow into a different style ever.
Right. Yes.
He keeps the style very, very much the same as from beginning to end, only changing it by, skills that he's learned.
Yeah.
I'll go into it later, but I think we could be seeing another Latino director winning Best Director, which is awesome. I love what Latinos have been doing with the directing category.
The Latino community. Thanks, David.
Guillermo del Toro kills it every time. Even when it's just a fun picture, it's well directed.
Like
Hellboy, Pacific Rim. And then you have, Alfonso Cuarón last year with Gravity.
Yeah.
Years before Children of Men. Now you have Alejandro Iñárritu with, Birdman. And if you look at his filmography, especially with Babel, you see him evolve like crazy.
True. Yeah, and it's really weird to see him go from Babel to Birdman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of compare them to each other, because there's really nothing.
There's not anything similar, but there's hints of it.
Well, yeah, there's hints that it's you know what I'm saying? But it's still very different. Two different worlds from two different universes. You know what I mean? But yes, I do agree that Alejandro did really, really well.
I still give it to Alejandro, but we have to also talk about Bennett Miller.
Bennett Miller. Let's...
I think he caused one of the biggest snubs of the year.
Yep.
David Fincher. Where the fuck is David Fincher?
Yeah.
Gone Girl was fantastic. It's immaculately directed. There's no technical flaw in that movie.
I really don't think so.
And Bennett Miller there was some good scenes, but there was nothing really poppy. The movie was bland. There was no really Helmer. I didn't feel like Bennett Miller was there, like he was in Moneyball or
Capote.
Yeah,
I love Capote. And it's really weird to see Capote and then to see Foxcatcher.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what?
He's kind of devolved a little.
Which is weird to me too, because Bennett Miller also won Best Director at Cannes.
Cannes for this, yeah.
Yeah. So, but also talk about someone who can also replace him. We got Ava DuVernay.
Oh yeah, and Ava DuVernay. I almost forgot about this. This is also the big thing, continuing the theme of the snub. So I guess that's what it's going to be called. You got Gillian Flynn missing for adapted screenplay, and then you have David Oyelowo missing for Best Actor, and then the last one being Ava DuVernay, the first African American nominated director potentially. African American female director.
Female director, yeah.
Why?
It's not that I can understand why she didn't get nominated. There are some points in the movie where it does kind of gonna go a little flat, but then it comes back up, and then it's carried by David Oyelowo.
But there's so many beautiful shots, I'm not trying to be racist, but she recognizes that a silhouette can be extremely beautiful in black skin. I'm not being racist, but there's a scene where Martin Luther King's on the phone, and it's just the silhouette of his forehead and his nose. Oh, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, of the year. Yeah. Something that simple, There's
also a moment where, after one of the rallies, he's someone got killed? Yeah, someone got killed, and he's standing, and he's looking down, and there's a white cross behind him. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, wow.
But anyways, that's our soapbox about directing. I take it and leave it as you will, but it's terrible that the Academy is so close-minded. Last category
Best Picture
of the year.
Let's go.
Certain things get love that didn't get before, as in one thing actually. But
Really? So let's go. American Sniper, Birdman,
Caw-caw!
Boyhood,
I'm a boy.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Continue.
I'm a real boy. That's what it is. The Imitation Game, Selma, Theory of Everything, and Whiplash.
So first of all, let's talk about Selma, which is an unprecedented nominee for some odd reason.
I think it deserves some love, and yes, I agree that it does deserve Best Picture. But why is it in any other category? Like
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because of the producers. The producers are Oprah Winfrey, who's the Academy will go for it all day, every day.
Yeah.
Brad fucking Pitt.
He's not nominated for it though.
He isn't?
No.
Well, he did potentially free an arbitrary slave. You have to realize that. So his movies, if he produces it, he's like a black person all of a sudden.
Honorary card.
Yeah, he has an honorary black person.
I rarely give out my honorary Mexican card to give out, so I think he has his honorary African American card. So we got Selma here, and I do think it deserves the Best Picture nomination.
It deserved a lot more than that.
It deserves a lot more than that, and it's really sad that it didn't get more. And I'm really happy that it at least got some kind of recognition. But it's kind of like one of those, here, well, we didn't nominate it for a lot of things, but here's this.
So we also have potentially two pictures that could have been nominated that didn't get nominated because they decided on, hey, 8 was enough.
Yeah.
And one of those, I'm just going to say both of them actually, Gone Girl and Interstellar. Both were snubbed for Best Picture nominations.
Yep.
And it's really sad because, again, Interstellar was a film achievement, and Gone Girl being the immaculate film it is, why are they not there? David Fincher has been the snub man since, his birth.
Well, actually, Christopher Nolan.
Both of
that's
them.
more, I think, Christopher Nolan. And Interstellar, for me, was my one movie that I will always go back to and be happy watching, because Interstellar just really knocked it out of the earth for me. Ha ha ha. It's really sad to see 8 nominations instead of 10 or 9. If anything, give us 9.
Yeah, toss Interstellar, Gone Girl. I mean, the rule should be 10 or unlimited because. Fuck it.
And toss out one other movie that we'll talk about in general too.
Yeah.
So they both could have been in. But let's go to Theory of Everything.
Theory of Everything. I feel like it deserves a Best Picture nomination. I think it was important enough to, convey the struggle of life and survival, I guess, in a way. Mm-hmm. It's an impressive story. It deserves to be there.
It's a little hallmarky.
It's a little hallmarky. Would be the only issue. Yeah. But it deserves to be there. There's been worse films been nominated.
Imitation Game.
Imitation Game. That one's Benedict Cumberbatch saved it.
Yeah, he did.
So it deserves to be there. I don't think it deserves Best Directing so much, but good job.
Yeah, yeah. The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel, definitely a surprise. Again, just in the same way it was a surprise for Best Director.
I think it's a surprise because it came out so early. I don't think it's a surprise personally because it is a really fantastic film.
It is really well made. It's just its earliness and the fact that it didn't get any acting buzz or anything.
Let's go to Whiplash.
Whiplash, another great surprise because it was such a smaller film, but it's also one of the best films of the year, in my opinion, the best. You got J.K. Simmons possibly winning the award. Probably not going to win Best Picture.
Miles Teller's was awesome.
Yeah, Miles Teller was fantastic. Yeah. If it was any other year, he would be up there.
Yeah, I think he'd get a nomination.
And the story of perseverance that the film portrays is really well done.
Yeah, and it's also relatable, especially to you, because you did the whole thing band. I did a little bit of band. Not that much.
It's a crazy story, you know?
So, stay away from me. American Sniper.
So, and everybody in American Sniper has done better work before. So, it's just...
Why is it there?
It could be just pandering towards patriotism and whatnot.
And I get it. We're Americans. We're all about patriotism, except for the Patriots. What? Who said that? Why is it here? Is it our American duty for it to be here? I mean, Chris Kyle is a badass mofo.
Yeah, he is badass.
No doubt about that.
And he did his best to change his life after the fact and whatnot.
And
it's just not. It's not what it should be. The action's well directed, but there's a lot of boring parts of the movie that they focus too much on. I think And Clint Eastwood is Clint Eastwood. He does good jobs at times, and he's also terrible at other times.
Yeah.
And this is his most like middle, but a little higher than normal.
I just
film.
think that if you're a director and you're directing a movie, and if I'm able to catch where it doesn't feel like you are the director anymore, that's when it's not. You know, and you know me, I don't really grasp that whole area. It's like a concept I'm still trying to grow on.
Well, I think this is like the battle right here. Boyhood, and Birdman.
Yeah.
It's a close match. I think whatever wins the previous categories, excluding the acting categories, are going to win the picture. So if Birdman wins original and then director, it will win Best Picture. The same with Boyhood. But I'm going to lean towards Birdman.
I'm leaning towards Birdman too, but I feel like they're apples and oranges, can't compare.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's a hard category.
They're both up there when it comes to like the level of amazingness that they can have in the picture. It's two great works. Like if Boyhood was nominated last year or next year, or you know what I'm saying? Like each one could hold. I
don't think it could have been nominated last year or next year. I think it came out at the perfect time, Boyhood. Or are you talking about Birdman?
I'm just talking about like the fact that the movies came out at two great movies came out at the same time. It sucks that there's only one winner.
Yeah. If it was up to me, I would say fuck the rules and give them both Academy Award because they are that damn good.
Yeah.
And you look at last year, there is kind of a clear winner. 12 Years a Slave did do a lot, and the years before that, if you look at them. This is the closest race I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
I would say There Will Be Blood in No Country was the last time it was this close.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then No Country for Old Men won. Yeah. I like No Country for Old Men, but I have this thing in my heart that holds There Will Be Blood in more. You know what I mean? So yeah, I could.
Your heart holds in blood too.
Yeah.
So there will be blood in your heart.
It's. Oh my god.
But yeah, like I see a lot more technical achievement with Birdman, whereas I see a lot more emotional achievement with Boyhood. And I think the technical is going to get this year again.
So physicality versus emotional.
Yeah, well, it did last year with directing, but the emotion won the picture.
True.
So it's fucking.
Will Boyhood win director and Birdman win picture?
It's weird. It's a weird two movies. Like I think it's so tight. I'm going Birdman as my personal favorite. Though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think Birdman's going to win as well. I want Boyhood to win too, though. So
yeah.
Whichever one, I don't care.
Fuck.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let us know what your snubs of the year are and who you are as a person from 12 years ago till now. From being a slave 12 years ago as a boy to evolving as a man now, going to college and then disappearing and getting murdered. But not really, because you're still alive playing the drums.
And at the meantime, apes.
And apes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the hugest snub of all time.
I really, yeah.
Andy Serkis should win. Koba should win. Not the actor that played Koba, but Koba himself.
Oh, the monkey.
That shot should be the shot for best cinematography for the whole awards.
That damn shot.
Yep, and Robin Williams starred in it and nobody even knew. He was one of the gorillas. So he's in the in memoriam section.
Nice.
Yeah.
But anyways,
comment up here or subscribe up here. Comment down below. Tell us your suggestions of movies for us to review to you, and also what your snubs are. Follow us on your favorite social media device.
Social media.
And we'll have more movies for you.
Good luck.